Hi everyone. In today's video, we're going to talk about Cattleya orchids. Cattleya were by far the most popular orchids in the olden days. So they were also called the corsage orchids. So if we closely see the flower, you have these petals and then you have this petal which is actually called the lip of the orchid. Okay, in most cattleyas the lip color is different from the color of the petals. It can of course be the same as well. That contrast color is what adds to the beauty and charm of cattleyas. And then you also have very distinct sepals. Okay, so this is called the dorsal sepal, and then it's got two more at the bottom. Phalaenopsis have of course taken over now as the most popular horticultural orchid because of versatility, as well as you can grow them indoors, etc. But cattleyas still have that old charm. Of course, they're not very easy to bloom, again, at least for me, but they are pretty easy to grow. So Cattleya originate from Costa Rica or the South American region primarily, and again they are epiphytes. They grow in rainforests and they grow on trees, so they cling to the tree trunks or the crotches of trees or the branches, and that's how they grow. People who collect cattleyas have observed as well that the ones that get access to direct sunlight are the ones that bloom the most profusely. Okay, so that kind of gives you an indication of how these plants like to grow. They have these flowers and then you have these leaves, and these leaves are connected to the stems, and these are called pseudobulbs. Okay, maybe I will use this as an example. This is one that's not blooming, but if you can see this, you can see these number of pseudobulbs. The leaves come up from these pseudobulbs. These pseudobulbs are like cylindrical structures. The blooms normally come, so maybe I can show it here. It comes at the end of the pseudobulb and it normally forms a sheath here. Okay, this is also called a sheath. This is called the sheath for the stem or the pseudobulb, and then you have a flower sheath that comes out, and that produces the bloom. And once this blooms and the blooms die, this pseudobulb will not bloom again. Okay, so then can I just cut the pseudobulb? No, the pseudobulb has a lot of other functions as well. In fact, this is a storehouse of food and moisture for the orchid. So the pseudobulb is required although it has stopped blooming. Okay, but if you have a huge orchid, and then you can always cut the pseudobulb. So please don't expect a new bloom to come from the old pseudobulbs. So if you see, a lot of these are all spent blooms. Right, this one is a spent bloom, this is a spent bloom, this one all old pseudobulbs which have already bloomed. Now the only part from which the orchid will bloom will be from the new pseudobulbs. This is a new pseudobulb here, new growth, right? So this is going to be, the bloom will come from here. Okay, similarly you can see here, if I turn this a little further, you see this one here, this is a new pseudobulb. So the bloom will come from here actually, where the pseudobulb, this has to develop, of course, this is still a very young nubbin. Okay, and similarly this one is a new growth. Now any new growth is where you can hope or expect flowers. Although this orchid is so big and it has got so many pseudobulbs, all of them are spent pseudobulbs or spent blooms, so it's not going to bloom again. Okay, so that's one thing that you need to surely remember about cattleyas. Cattleya has a horizontal rhizome on which the pseudobulb develops, and below the rhizome are the roots. Think of it like a ginger or a turmeric rhizome, so it will be a horizontal rhizome. Maybe I can show you with this one. Just clean this up. This orchid was not doing that well. Okay, so you see this one, this is the rhizome. Okay, now if you see, the pseudobulbs are coming in from the rhizome. So this is the old pseudobulb and this is the new pseudobulb that is coming in from the rhizome. Now the next one will come here, the next one will come next to it, etc. Kind of grows along the rhizome. So that's the the specialty of a Cattleya orchid. Okay. Now in terms of water, Cattleyas grow in rainforests, of course. So that's why they are used to heavy water. But they also are used to periods of lull or drought in between. You can water them deeply, but you need to dry them thoroughly between waterings. Unlike Phalaenopsis, which likes to be relatively moist, Cattleyas like to dry between waterings, and they need to be watered thoroughly when you're watering them. So that's the watering conditions when it comes to Cattleyas. Light, there have been a lot of confusing literature. I mean, I've been doing so much of research on this, especially with the light requirements. People do talk about dappled light for Cattleyas, etc. But my experience has been absolutely the opposite. I have seen that these plants have bloomed for me only when I have stressed them and given them very very strong light. Okay, so there's only so much strong light I can get because I have a north facing balcony. I put them directly in the brightest part of my balcony. That probably doesn't mean very strong light, but that's what I mean. You need to give them very strong, intense light to induce blooms. This is an example, right? So if you see the leaf color of this, you will only get blooms if the colors of the leaves are this light green or almost neon color, versus if the leaves are very healthy and these dark green color, you will not induce blooms on that. I mean, it will keep giving you new growth, but it will not be enough. If you have a garden or an outdoor garden, I would recommend putting this orchid outside. Maybe tie it to a tree branch. You can mount it onto something and tie it to a tree branch and give it that light. The other experiment I have been doing with this orchid is I have tried to mount this one. So this is relatively new, but I'm seeing some new growth coming in. Here it is. Do you see this right in the middle? Okay, this is brand new after I've mounted it into this. So it seems like it is liking its new place and new setup. Let's hope. I have been putting both these orchids into direct light, but unfortunately it's been raining the last few weeks, so they are not really getting the kind of light they require to induce blooms. But there is multiple new growths in this, and there's some good new growth in this as well. So I'm hoping for some new flowers on these orchids while I still enjoy this one. Cattleya blooms last about 10 to 15 days probably, and then they just die off. Okay, and maybe if you take very good care of them, you can have them for a week more. So that's really about light, about soil. Cattleyas do very well with pine bark media. Sphagnum moss and coconut husk, try and avoid for these orchids. You can use leca. Leca is hydrotron, right? The clay pellets. You can use clay pellets as well, or leca. You can use charcoal with these because while you need to water them thoroughly, you need to dry them as well between waterings, and that's what works for these orchids. Fertilizers, these orchids don't really have a winter rest. You can continue fertilizing them throughout. Weekly is what I propose. Like if you're using say a 20-20-20 balance fertilizer, go 1/4 strength of it on a weekly basis. If you're going with 10-10-10, maybe half strength on a weekly basis. If you're using high bloom fertilizer, if you're seeing a lot of new growth and flower spikes, you can go for a high bloom fertilizer during that period, and that as well dilute it, or use orchid specific fertilizer. Okay, so if you're using your regular NPK, I don't really make a distinction between my regular plants and orchids, but I dilute the fertilizers for my orchids. To sum up about Cattleyas, one is they have a horizontal rhizome and roots underneath that, and pseudobulbs grow along the rhizome. So old pseudobulbs develop, and keep the old pseudobulbs. If you want to kind of propagate these orchids and repot them, ensure that you don't cut off only the new pseudobulbs. You will not get a new Cattleya with that. So it needs to have some of these old pseudobulbs for that nutrient and food and moisture. So you can probably have 3 old pseudobulbs and the new pseudobulb and then split it that way. Okay, and ensure that you have new growth coming in when you are repotting. In terms of light requirements, bright light, put them in the sunniest part of your balcony. They like to be dried between waterings, but they like to be thoroughly watered. They like to be regularly fertilized. They don't go through a winter rest, unlike other orchids. So regularly fertilized, so you can expect regular blooms. They do well with mounting. So they are epiphytic orchids. In terms of the colors of leaves, the lighter the color, the better it is for blooms. Darker color means they are not getting enough light. And fertilizers, fertilize them on a weekly basis with dilute fertilizer, and they should do well for you. So thanks a lot, and thanks for watching.